Night Madness, or as they call it in these parts, Hoosier Hysteria. Getting ready for a three-point shooting contest. A year ago, the Hoosiers, not bad from deep, 395, 39% as a team. In this three-point contest, each player 45 seconds to shoot 20 shots from 5 stations. Top 2 scorers are going to advance to the final.
Well, this is actually an important contest for Indiana because the way they're going to play this year, very similar to the way they played last year, in that their main scorer, their leading scorer last year, Marco Killingsworth, the one man inside. Now you're going to get a chance to see Armand Bassett. If he wants to make a statement to the team, hey, I want to play this year, got to be able to knock down the three, and here's why. You have DJ White inside. I guarantee from the time he steps on the floor, being healthy this year, he'll command a double team. With that double team, Kelvin Sampson wants to space the floor, needs guys that can shoot the basketball. That 19'9" three-point line, he's always used as a weapon, and he'll continue to do so with an inside-outside approach.
Where are all the defensive drills? You think Kelvin Sampson, you think we're going to have charge drills and rebounding drills?
Well, now, you know, we're taking timeouts, but they already did a charge drill. He did a charge drill first. And the thing that I've noticed about a Kelvin Sampson practice, and people will see it if they come and watch his practice or they see his team. And by the way, Bassett is just running a fever. My goodness. Is when a player on his team takes a charge, and he's made 15, that's pretty good. When a player on Indiana's team takes a charge, anytime during a practice, the entire team at the first dead ball runs out and helps him up. It's part of the team building, the camaraderie building. And, you know, he talked to us about that, and that he's been able to build a bit of a bond with that team because he's been on, as he termed it, house arrest by the NCAA. Hasn't been allowed to go out on the road. Instead, he's been here, and whereas most head coaches across the country are going and watching JUCO tournaments and high school tournaments and AAU tournaments, he's been here working with his team, building a bond with his team, even if they just come into the office on a daily basis.
You just saw Armand Bassett make 15 three balls. Now Lance Stemler, and this is a guy who they think has got a real opportunity to step in. He's a JC guy. They think he's got a chance to step in and get a lot of minutes. Yeah, he does. Southwest Illinois Junior College, and the reason that he can step in and play is his ability to shoot the ball, pass the ball from the 4 spot. Again, DJ White is who they're going to build their offense around. If he's at that low block commanding a double team, you want a shooter opposite him, and so Lance Stemler is one of the prospects who has a chance to earn that starting spot. Another one of their JC guys who they think has got a chance to play immediately is a big fella, muscles on top of muscles, Mike White, 6'6", 232-pound forward.
He's a man. He's an absolute man. Stemler only makes 8, but it doesn't matter how you do it in the shooting drills, how you do it in a game. The only problem with Mike White is I'm not sure, you know, listening to Coach Sampson talk to us today, how well he fits in with DJ White. However, he's what I like to call a sawed-off big man. We used to call him a sawed. If you stretched him out, you know, he's 6'8", probably 6'4.5", 6'5", but there's not an ounce of fat on his body. Muscle-bound, can jump up in a crowd and dunk on you. Was just a beast at the junior college level, and if nothing else, he'll give them an incredible amount of depth inside, rebounding, defending, and scoring at certain points.
Make no bones about it, this man right here is a crowd favorite. Eric Sewer, former walk-on, but a guy who, when he's given minutes, he performed. He's now working with a scholarship. Guy can flat out shoot.
He grew up here. His dad was a football coach, was actually the color analyst for the radio broadcast for the football team for a number of years. And this is what's special about Indiana basketball. I heard Doug Bell say it in the studio. You know, you walk into a building and you just feel it, you sense it. When you say the name of the state, Indiana, forget about the school, it emanates basketball. It oozes basketball. Hoosier means basketball, not just from the movies, but from the history of college basketball, from the history of NBA basketball, ABA basketball. And, you know, this is living a dream. You grow up in the town, you're a walk-on, you earn a scholarship, and you actually get some minutes. Sewer's a guy who can really shoot the basketball.
And the minute that he's done, look at that entire bench. They're all going to go over and congratulate him. And I'm sure Kelvin Sampson notices this. This is something that each and all the shooters, they've all gotten the hero's welcome after they finished their round. He made 13 shots to Eric Sewer.
Big key for Indiana this year is going to be the play of their veterans and their ability to shoot the basketball from 3, because they don't have guys that break you down, create off the dribble. And that's what Eric Gordon is going to bring when he arrives on campus next year. That's what some of the recruiting class can bring next year. But this team, a guy like Roderick Wilmot, he's a brilliant athlete. He can jump up and elevate and dunk on you, but he can't get it, put the ball on the deck, create his own shot like say a Ben Gordon would, or for Hoosier fans like an A.J. Guyton could during times in his career. He's a tremendous set shooter, but a guy who needs space in order to get that shot up.
Last year, Rod Wilmot came off the bench, put up some pretty good games. Good numbers coming off the bench. He was able to catch fire a couple of times throughout the course of the year and really help his team. This year, a bigger role, as you'd expect from a fifth-year senior.
Yeah, should be a starter this year. Now remember, down the stretch, the last 12 games, he was 7 for 40 from three-point range. Before that, he had a couple of big games in big team, big name games. But he really struggled with his jump shot for long stretches of time. The more he works on the consistency of his release and the consistency of making a jump shot, the more he'll play this year, the more Kelvin Sampson will run screening action for him.
Wilmot with 10, but once again, that hero's welcome as he goes back to the bench.
He's built like you.
Oh, that'll be the day. And that's one thing they've talked about so far early in the time that Kelvin Sampson has been on campus. The conditioning of this year's team is going to be night and day difference than what we've seen in years past.
Yeah, Jeff Watkinson is the new strength coach. He came over from Missouri. He and Jeff Meyer, one of the assistant coaches, also at Missouri last year. And I can't tell you how long Kelvin Sampson talked to me specifically today about the job that Jeff Watkinson has done. He's an Indiana alum, and he's come back here and he's really worked with these guys on their strength. Not just the guys we've seen, but also Ben Allen, who's the Aussie second-year sophomore kid who's added 35 pounds of muscle. Didn't go home and play with the Australian national team or the junior national team. Instead, stayed here, worked on his game, and Coach Sampson believes he has a great shot to compete for that starting spot at the floor.
All right, this is the championship round, the three-point shootout. Armin Bassett, his first time around, had 15. That was the most in the first round. He's competing against Eric Sewell. So Bassett, right about now, got into that hot streak his first time around.
Now watch how the ball comes off those last two. The index and middle fingers last, and his release is perfect. It's the same every time. The reason that ball is going in.
And ran out of time, had 4 balls left on the rack. He made 11.
Without question, he's made the highest percentage. He made 10, but he hasn't gotten to the last rack both times. He's got to, you have to know how to play within the contest rules. Let's see if Sewell, he may make a couple more, but he may get a couple more attempts. And sometimes it's about how many you make, not about the percentage. It's not like a game.
He will be the final three-point shooter. 10 is the score to beat.
Isn't it amazing how a guy who can't shoot at all can break down how to win a three-point shooting contest? It's the beauty of this thing.
Do as you say, not as you did.
Well, see, I always got to watch these contests. Never got to participate. So because I never got to participate, I knew how to break down how to win these things. Also, I can tell you how to win a dunk contest, too.
You should have thought about passing the ball into the hoop. If you were passing it, you would toss it in every single time.
Probably would have a better opportunity to go in. Sewell, another guy. I mean, look how his left hand never touches the basketball. It's a bookend. The right hand has the same release point at every point. And he's not going to get to the last rack.
He's already got his number, though. He's already got the win. And Sewell, the former walk-on, now the scholarship. The good times continue. He has won the Hoosier Hysteria three-point shootout. I think he has a chance to run for mayor and win. Kid from Bloomington wins the three-point shootout. When we come back, we'll take the long-range jumpers, put them in the garage. It's time to dunk some basketballs.